Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Law of average, I gotta get one of them right.
Sooner or later, bound to happen.
All right, we're back to
Citizen
citizen participation on agenda. Ted. You're awake? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake you.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Ted Knopfel, and I'm here to ask for some assistance from you guys tonight. Mayor, when everybody knew what a tailor was, and I presume everybody here knows what a tailor was, and when they were more common, everybody could finish the
Well, let me
quote.
start. I get a phone call this morning, and he asked me where I could find a tailor.
Go ahead.
And I'm going through my brain, thinking how the last time I had something cut off, and I'm looking through this stuff, and I'm saying, I don't really know, but my secretary. So he explains it to me. So now you're up to speed. Now explain it to the rest of the world.
Yeah, and everybody could finish the quote. You cut the garment to fit the cloth, because in those days everybody realized that physically you could only get so much garment out of the cloth. But in the last 30, 40 years of the government-induced insanity that we live in, people changed the quote to, gee, right now why don't we cut the cloth to suit the garment so we can have all kinds of things we can't afford, things that are unsustainable. Those days, Mayor, have been over in the private sector for years, and bit by bit they're going to be over in the public sector. We've got problems with every level of government in our country, and I simply do not accept the notion that we don't at the municipal level. This is the only good level of government. I don't buy that for a minute. I think the solutions we've got to define will be different for every level of government, and at the municipal level, I firmly believe we've got to elect an accountable executive. The days of this council manager deal is over, in my judgment. We have to elect the go to the strong mayor is my thing. You've got to remember, too, that that's patterned after our state and federal constitution, absent the judicial branch and the Carroll legislature. Other than that, the two systems of government are identical. I've only ever heard 5 objections to this, and I want to run through them quickly with you. The first 3 are easy, and you've heard them from me before. The people are too lazy, stupid, or corrupt to ever be entrusted with that form of government. And the simple answer to that is, they elected you all, did they not? So which were they when they elected you all? Stupid, lazy, or corrupt? And the answer
We
is...
don't want to answer them.
Yeah, the answer is neither, Mayor. The answer is we've got to have trust in the people. Number 4 has to do with oftentimes the motivation of the person that opposes it. I met a gentleman at a meeting like this in New Smyrna several months ago who spoke passionately against strong mayor. At the first meeting when I'd met him, he came back a month later and he begged forgiveness, and he wanted to admit that what he was opposed to was the current mayor down in New Smyrna. He didn't like the man, didn't like his style, his policies, his abilities. And that was really what his opposition was all about. When he thought about it, he really didn't have an objection to the form of government. It was simply the person in place. And I want to say at the outset, if anybody harbors those feelings here in Port Orange about Mayor Green, I disagree, and I want to give you a quote, and I want to adapt a quote to Green if I could. Jefferson, I know no safe depository of the ultimate powers of society but the people themselves. And if we think them not enlightened enough to exercise their control with a wholesome discretion, the remedy is not to take it from them, but to inform their discretion by education. Now let's modify it. If we think a mayor is not enlightened enough, let's educate them. Let's not take the power back away. And then the 5th reason I want to give you here tonight is a quote from a person a little more modern than Jefferson. He's still alive. Politics breeds demagogues. Demagogues seek influence and political power by appealing to the prejudices, the emotions, and the fears of the people. Government attracts all of those who enjoy using the power over others, and those who convince themselves that average people need smart people to take care of them. And only the demagogues can provide the wisdom to appoint those who would rule over us. That's it. That's the whole sum of the reasons I've ever heard for opposing this form of government. And as perhaps you reach your own answers here, and or listen to others who will speak against it, just start clicking off on your fingers. Yeah, that's a 1, that's a 3, that's a 5, yeah, that's back to a 2. We've been electing our own leaders and writing our own constitutions and charters ever since the people rode ashore from the Mayflower, Mayor. That's how long we've been doing it. And it's time for us to do it in Port Orange. Now here's what I'm asking of you as a first step. If you guys would host or support a series of public information meetings on the topic, hold them over several days a week, several times a day, so anybody that is interested can come forward, get informed, offer their opinions. But let's host the public information session, and then, quite honestly, let's have you guys get on with creating a new charter capable of producing an accountable executive, the mayor, with real decision-making authority, counterbalanced with a legislature, the council, on which the executive is dependent for funding and for ordinance enactment. You largely have a blank slate to get started with, and you can create a charter that's right, or that's unique for this city and the needs of this city. Because, Mayor, we just can't keep going with the malaise that exist in this city right now. You, more than anybody in this room, understands just how bad it is, and you understand just how ineffective you are in affecting change that we're struggling with here in this city. This is a solution. I believe it'll work. It's perhaps not the only solution, but it's the only solution I'm hearing. And I'd really like you guys to give that some thought here as you go through your agenda and you get to speak at the end of it. The notion that perhaps it is time that we look at this as a real viable solution for moving forward in our city. The present system is not going to last for much longer. Mr. Parker at some point will retire, and I can't believe any of you would have the stomach or the guts or whatever to want to try and bring in a suitcase and a long distance number and install that person, be it a he or a she, as the manager in this city. I can't believe you want to go down that road. Let's elect a local person and entrust them with some decision making. Thank you very much.
Thank you.